Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First off, I want to thank everybody for the comments on the last video. I really didn't think that it would be popular at all, but according to the comments and the views and the thumbs up and everything else, I decided to do another one and clear up a few questions that I was asked. In fact, there was quite a lot of questions, but most of them are actually answered in comments. I've decided to go this way today, and I need to come in here. Sorry, mate. Anyway, the first question of why aren't you taking the test? And the simple answer is I don't want to. I did a car test, a driving test to actually say that I'm safe to drive on the roads, which I did a long time ago. I did a motorbike test in 2004, I think, to say that I'm safe to ride a motorbike. Now, I know that flying planes and everything else isn't the safest of things because you're not ever fully in control unless you've got a completely manual system, and even then you're not fully in control. When you take off and you throw that plane or you take off, you've either got an autopilot or you've got a receiver or you've got something that's actually in control of it. You're not in control of that equipment. Now, if anything goes wrong, who's going to be responsible for it? So we'll say that your GPS goes wrong and it crashes. Who's responsible for that plane or that quad or that drone or that UAV or whatever? You are signing your life away to say that you will fly responsibly and your equipment is 100% safe to actually use. But in actual fact, you haven't got a clue. You don't know that it's not going to just piss off somewhere and kill 100 people or whatever, or fly into an airfield, or fly into a jail or anything else. And if that happens, if it happens to fly into an airport and they find your number and it's not your control, who's to blame? You. Simple as, it's just you. So I'm not going to be taking a test and I'm not going to be registering anything. It doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to fly. I've never said that. It means that I won't be able to post any videos of my flights. Now, according to the draft laws that are going on at the minute, which nothing's been finalised, it's going to be anything over 250 grams cannot be flown by children. So if I start posting videos and blatantly just ignoring the law, the kids who can't fly their Phantom Menace that they had for Christmas aren't going to be very happy, and it'll be a matter of time before somebody actually reports me. So I'm not going to be posting any videos. So there's that about it. And I know Bruce from RC Model Reviews has already covered all of this, but what he said makes 100% perfect sense. It really does make complete sense. The other thing that was mentioned in this draft law is all drones. What they're classed as drones, I really don't know. What they're classed as drones. Now, start again. The other thing that was mentioned in this draft law thing was geofencing. Now, they haven't actually mentioned what their class as a drone. yet. Nobody's actually talked about that. They've not said planes or anything that flies, or So nobody actually knows. But they mentioned about geofencing to say that you can't take off in certain areas, and you can't fly. You can't fly in no-fly zones. You can't fly more than 400 feet high. You can't fly more than 500 feet away from you, or however far it's going to be. Now, to my knowledge, the only thing that does that at the minute is the DJI stuff, the Phantom Menace. All DJI products do it, I think. But the thing is, they're the most popular ones that people buy, or will say that Amazon sells to kids. And I've got something in my eye. Hang on. And kids are the ones who ain't going to be able to fly them, because they're not going to be old enough. So there's going to be a lot of angry kids out there who just can't fly their toys. So according to what the newspapers or the reports or the CAA or whatever it is have reported, they're saying that last year alone there was over 70 reported incidents of near misses with drones, with civil aviation craft, as in passenger planes or just light aircraft. Now, none of them were actually a confirmed drone sighting or a confirmed drone miss or anything else, and none of the pilots themselves are actually found. Now, I know that last year one of them was actually a carrier bag that was seen at 20,000 feet or something stupid like that. So there's no evidence that drones actually cause any safety issues at all. There's no firm evidence. They've not done any tests to see what happens, but they've actually stated that anything over 400 grams can cause serious problems to helicopter windscreens. That's their reckoning. They've done no tests at all, apart from firing frozen turkeys into bloody jet engines and stuff just to see what happens. And I wonder if they're actually comparing them to drones, a frozen turkey. Does anybody recognise where I am? I ain't got a clue. And I've got my full gloves on, look. Because oh shit. Oh, bunny hop. Well, tried to. Because yesterday was a bit painful, shall I say. It's alright today. It's still cold, it's about 9 degrees actually. The other thing as well, the people who are intending to break the law, and I know all this has been covered many times, but people have asked the question, the people who are going to break the law are the ones who ain't going to register. So if somebody wants to drop a phone into a prison or something like that, isn't going to go and register it and then have this unique ID tag broadcast so as everybody knows who it was. They're just not going to do it, are they? Unbelievable. I think what they're doing is that all they are actually doing is punishing the people, the people who want to actually have fun. And I don't know how you actually police kids. It's a parenting thing, and what they should do in actual fact is, if the kid's flying irresponsibly, what they should do is get the parents to pay the fine. The parents should be 100% responsible for their children's actions, which they are to an extent, but not in this case. I need to get on the road. But they're not in this case. They're just saying anybody under the age of 16, I think it is. And the reasoning behind that is probably so as they can actually prosecute the operator. But what I want to find out is, how do they prove that you were 100% in control of that drone? How can they actually categorically say, yes, it was you, and you were in full control of it, and you say, no, I wasn't. I tried to land it, and it just wouldn't do it, because there has been, and I've had one, a DJI flyaway. So I don't know how they're actually going to police it. It'll be interesting to see what the first case is, if there is ever going to be a case. Oh, I'm in Willenhall. God, it's been years since I've been down here. Bump. Just sidetracking a bit. I've been looking at these, the eBike Enduro frame again. I literally look at it every day. Now I need, because of personal circumstances, I need something that's going to be less than about 35 kilo. And I think the e-bike, the Enduro bike, is going to be too heavy. So what I'm thinking is, I may actually get a downhill bike and convert one of those, or another mountain bike, something like the Voodoo, Voodoo Moo 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 Moo. I can't remember the names of them. The Bantu was one of them. I can't remember what the other ones are. The other thing I've started doing is, on these batteries, because I've got 3, and my charger only takes 2 batteries, and I have to do 2 and then 1, which I'll talk about in a minute. I decided that I was going to start trying bollocks and arse and bollocks and bollocks, and I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm trying to concentrate on the road. The other thing I've started doing is parallel charging, because my charger, I don't want to go this way, I don't know where I am. Oh shit. The other thing I've been doing is, because I've got 3 of these batteries, I've had to start parallel charging. And the reason behind it is, the charger's only got 2 ports on it. Although, I mean, it's an iCharger, and the iCharger will do, is it 50? I think it'll do 15 amps per channel. So these batteries, being a 15,000 milliamp battery, will actually charge within an hour. But I don't like charging them at that high current rate. I prefer to charge them at half C rather than a 1C. So I started parallel charging, and I was thinking very heavily about the principle behind it, and I've noticed that it's now a hell of a lot better. My batteries are a lot better because they're a lot more balanced. If you think about the parallel charging, where you plug all your power leads and you also plug in your balance leads all together, well, not all together, you've got cell number 1 going to cell number 1, 2 to 2, you know what I mean? What happens is, if one of the cells is slightly low, it actually brings it back up with the other cell on the other battery. And I've noticed now, because I use these in series to get the 72 volts, I've noticed now that the voltage is constant across all the batteries. It's fine if you run them in series, but if you're actually running them on parallel, actually no, parallel works as well. Parallel probably works even better. If you're using more than one battery in series or parallel, it's a bloody good idea, personally I think, because it does make all the cells exactly the same voltage, or all the batteries exactly the same voltage. But what I'll do is I'll do a separate video on the iCharger, because it also does discharge, a synchronous discharge, which you can plug in a resistor bank. and the resistor bank will allow you to discharge something like a 6S battery at around about 10 amps rather than the usual 2.5 or 3 amps that the chargers can handle. Why do they make drains recessed? Stupid bloody question, Tony. Someone sent me a joke the other day. Paddy and Murphy was sitting in a boat, and Paddy says to Murphy, I'm not doing an Irish accent, Paddy says to Murphy, Murphy, why do all scuba divers fall backwards out of the boat? I got it wrong. Paddy and Murphy was sitting in a boat. Paddy says, why do all scuba divers fall backwards out of the boat? And Murphy says, if they fell forward, they'd smack their heads. Okay, going back to the laws, the impending laws. None of my quads will actually ever be compatible with the law, as in geofencing, height restriction, distance restriction. I don't know if it's actually geofenced with things like the Eagle Tree Vector. I think it's just a warning to say that you are over the height, or you're more than this far away from you, or something like that. I don't know if it does geofence itself. Obviously it does return to home, but not the geofence as such. There's only DJI who are working with the CAA, according to all the reports, because they want to clinch all the bloody market and take it away from everybody else, which is a bit wrong. You know, they should come up with their own. The CAA should actually come up with their own rules, and they should say, right, this is the way it's got to be done, get on with it. Not bloody working with a manufacturer to actually come up with the rules. That's just completely wrong, and I think it shouldn't be allowed. So anyway, if you're flying a mini quad, the thing about mini quads is they are light and they are fast and they're a lot of fun. But the thing is, if you're flying a mini quad, you won't have a full flight controller on it. You know, you'll have a nasal, you'll have another one. Don't know. Kiss. Don't know what they are anymore. So you won't have a full flight controller on it, and it won't have GPS, and it won't have return to home, and it won't have geofencing on it. None of the actual if I was to fit a NAS or an F4 or something into my quad, it just wouldn't have GPS on it. It wouldn't have a return to home on it, or geofence or anything. So you're not going to be able to fly, lads, legally. So they are all the reasons why I'm not taking the test. Although the only main reason is because I'm not going to be in control of that craft, and if it crashes, I'm going to be in court for something that I wasn't in control of. The only way that they can actually say that a person was in control of something whilst they were flying around an airport or a prison or something like that is to bring in a data logging function whereby all your stick inputs are recorded. That is the only way that it'll stand up in court, that they can actually say categorically you were in control of that piece of equipment. Otherwise it's just a complete farce. It really is a complete bloody farce. This is the motorway that I have to travel every single day, and this is a Sunday morning, so the traffic is very, very light. So it's really refreshing for me to actually stand here and look at all these poor people who are driving. Anyway, off we go. I may get another mountain bike, but a decent one, something with proper bloody RockShox suspension or something. And I was looking at the Voodoo, the blue, whatever, I don't know what the names of them are, can't remember. I know the Bantu. The Bantu's the one with the front suspension. There's actually one which is bright green, which I don't like. And I'm back here again. Bloody hell am I going? Anyway, the Voodoo Bantu, not the Bantu, the other one. The you or whatever. It's got full suspension, but I don't know if it's big enough to actually get the batteries on. So that's what I'm looking at. Sort of doing something where Mr. Average can do it, rather than getting the enduro frame that most people have actually done already. Well, there's a lot of people already done it already, but there's no build videos. Nobody's actually gone into detail of actually how to do it. It's the same with this one. Oh, this is bad. This is why I want a full suspension bike. It's the same as this one. I didn't do a build video because I didn't think that anybody would be interested in it at all, so I didn't bother. But my next one, when I get it, I will be doing a full build video, or try to anyway, and try to oh God, I'm turning around. These roads are terrible. Anyway, if you can hear me above all this wind noise, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next vlog thing if I do another one. Anyway, I've got a bit of a problem with it. In fact, there's a couple of problems. The first problem is with the headset. The bearings are shot.